another disappointing round in the books as we get closer to the season being over and transitioning into AFLW fantasy. But at least I can say that I, with confidence, nailed my trade-ins this week, trading in 2 round 12 guys that are both cheapies in Caldwell and Kennedy. Loman did fail a little bit, and I did trade out a 109 guy, but I couldn't have done much better than that. Maybe a little bit better with Johnson or something like that to trade it in, but oh well, it is what it is, I guess. At the end of the day, I maybe would have made another sort of 60 points or so, but not too bad, not too much more. But anyway, let's jump into this recap of the side itself. So as you can see, for those watching along, 1694, not the best, alongside a round rank of 46,264 and an overall rank of 16,409. One of the good things about this side, as you will see, is that I did have Sinclair, I did have McRae, I did have, I think most people still holding McRae, 21% ownership, so he's down. So a lot of when he comes back this week, it's projected, I think, let me just double check that. Essendon Collingwood, we are looking at St Kilda. Let's just quickly look at St Kilda for you. It looks like McRae is a test, which is a good thing. McRae should also be fit to face the Bulldogs next week. That's a good thing. Him being back should be good. So I had effectively 1, 2. Well, McRae was always going to be out. But yeah, I had 1, 2, 3 Primos on the bye this week itself. 4 Primos actually in Sarong. So I had 4 Primos out, which meant that I had quite a lot of low scorers. And you can just see in general a lot of sort of not really the high end scorers for me, which kind of sucks. So Zorko 87, not good from him, but he does have GWS this week, so we're hoping for a bounce back game. Connor Rosie, a 1-2-1, a pretty decent game from him as well, and he comes into Melbourne Demons, so I'm glad that I've got him back in that back line. Trent Rivers, it really did annoy me that, and this is one of the things I was talking about, basically, that, what was it? Jai Newcomb went 108, so that's 28 points there that I burnt, if you think about it there, to basically Trent Rivers, who I would have had to have picked a defender if I was to have gotten rid of a Trent Rivers over a, I think. No, I wouldn't have. I could just have played effectively a Jack Sinclair in the back. I could have played the Caleb Sarong, but instead it would have been a Jack Sinclair in the back line there and done that. But then I would have had to come up with an extra like 40k, which 40k would have been through, I think, Kai Lohman into someone else, which if we look at the sort of 200 to 290k guys, and we look at the last round, you'll see Closey and Madden, and Hugh Jackson probably was the guy that I wanted to look at, as well as I think Johnson, who's currently in my side. I have got my trade set in, but I'm pretty sure Johnson currently in my side, he did pretty well as well with an 80 or so, I think, or 70 odd. So that would have been a lot better. And yeah, I could have even waited and not traded out Cleary because he's on the bye and traded out Lindsay, but I expected a little bit better from Lindsay. And anyway, so yeah, that cost me about 60 points, which is probably about 500, 600 ranks. And then you have got here as well, Matt Carroll, 49. He got subbed out as well, which sucks. Angus Clark, 58. He's doing pretty well. He's making some quick cash as well. I'm just glad that next week, effectively speaking, I've got Wangani, Malira, and Sinclair coming back. So it means that this side, if I put Trent Rivers into the midfield, I've effectively got, I've got 2 guys basically coming in for Rivers and say a Carroll in Wangani, Malira, and Sinclair. And then that means that Clark is my D6 in this side. Nick Dacos, 83, basically got tagged out of it, has a bye this week. Has been really bit disappointing since we got him in. We got him in the round 6, where, yeah, he had gone up against Brisbane and gone 1-3-1 first game. So he was at 2-5-1, 3-4-3, 350, 410, 498, 503, 580, 581, I believe. So he's just going over the 100 marker per game. I think he's at somewhere close to about 830 through 8 games for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 games. So that's about 104 average for us. So basically what he was priced at which really does suck, but he's coming up to a pretty open up draw, I feel like, in the next sort of 6 weeks as well. So hopefully we get some good performances out of him. Zach Merritt, 79, he really does suck, and he's probably going to be a guy that I might flip on his buy if he survives till then. Has gone 79, 94, 149 in my side, which is still a 107, which is decent, but it's really banking on that 149, which will slowly start to, over the long run, if he doesn't put up a banker or a big score next week, start to fade out as the lower scores take hold as a majority. Levi, 63, wanted some more, but that sucks. At the end of the day, 63, he's probably got to go in the next little bit. It's basically done his job. Average 77.7, which is just fantastic for a rookie. Jai Caldwell, we all talked about him, and I brought him in, and I'm really happy because he went off. He ended up going 110. Probably could have done more, but he looked absolutely Gonski in terms of his feet. He was probably cramping up and everything, but in the end, when you get to a 110, you take it and you run it. So yeah, he ended up on a 110. Has Geelong and Freo before the bye. And so, yeah, hoping he can put up another couple of big scores because he could be over 1 mil and be really damaging to the non-owners. He is a pod at 2.32%, but he's also a guy that I got in at 956k who could be a keeper, which is a really good thing. Caleb Sarong was on the bye. Xavier Lindsay subbed out on a 31. Yeah, he's been really disappointing. And yeah, drop it to 13k. So that's really disappointing and will be out of my side. McAuliffe scrambled to an 80 on the bye this week alongside Sheldrick, which does weaken my side dramatically. But I'm pretty sure McAuliffe or Xavier Lindsay have run their course in my side. And we'll see what we can do alongside a Levi Ashcroft or a Rivers. McAuliffe might stay in my side a week longer just because he's... I need to get rid of Xavier Lindsay before he drops any more cash because he is basically useless. And I can almost go, I think, Xavier Lindsay, Levi, and Trent Rivers to 2 primos. And then Angus Sheldrick with a 81, and that is perfect. And then the 2 rucks, 111 and 122 between them. Job done for them, basically. They're just continuing on what they need to do. Bailey Smith, the late scratch, probably hurt my side the most because we had in the end 3 scratches in the end in terms of we had 19 players, so we topped off the lowest one, which was a 31. So in the end, it only cost me 18 points to the lowest man, I think. Sorry, 2 points actually in terms of just this, in terms of taking a 49 on field rather than a 51. But that extra score, whereas Bailey Smith probably with his average is 122, so it cost us probably 73 points, which when you think about it, that's quite a lot. But I mean, most people in the community would have copped that with Bailey Smith. Kennedy 132, amazing. He was a great trade-in, averaging 103 now, and yeah, just happy about that trade-in. Traded in almost 300 points from basically 108. So yeah, when you look at it that way, that's a really good set of trades. And then you've got Petrarca 89, couldn't get to the ton, and this is what we're saying with Petrarca. That's now 5 weeks, and 4 of them haven't been tons. And so, yeah, this is what I was sort of expecting with Petrarca. But, I mean, he's a forward, and there you go. At least you're getting 90s rather than sort of 70s. McRae, hopefully back this week. Rankin, he stunk it up as a forward, but Peatling has a suspension. So, we might be trading Isaac Rankin at his bye. But, yeah, he should do all right this week against the Hawks. And then Lohman, a 51, slightly disappointing, but I think he can bounce back next week against GWS. Because their medium defenders aren't the greatest. It's more their tools that are good. So Lohman should do all right there as well. And then, yeah, we've got a bench just full of DNPs. Anyway, that is the video there. Just a quicker one to go through all of the players that I've got in AFL Fantasy. A dismal week for me. A very just poor week in terms of player scores. A lot of middling scores, not really catching any of the top scores like a Max Holmes or a or Brody Grundy, Tim English, Josh Dacos, all those type of guys really went off, and I just didn't have them, which sucked because I could have had them, but I didn't. I think I had a decision between a Rivers and a Holmes, and I went Rivers over Holmes, and you can see how that's panning out. So yeah, that was on me, and yeah, should have just gone Holmes. Holmes would have been the easy jump, the easy non-dumb choice, and it would have worked out. But anyway, that is the video. If you did enjoy that rundown, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys in the Supercoach recap tomorrow. Bye guys.